What's up, everybody? Hey, check it out, man. I just want you guys to get introduced to my water, Motiv8tor water, proud sponsor, ambassador. 2026, we about to blow season 3. The Motivators Table, proud sponsor, Motiv8tor. This water right here is spring alkaline from North Carolina, from the springs. So, hey, if you guys love alkaline water, tap in with Motiv8tor. I'm a proud sponsor. Thank you. Boom.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Motiv8tor Circle. I'm your boy, the Hood Motivator. And guess what? We on our last episode of the season. Yes, season 3 is coming to an end. But guess what? I brought an automatic smash hit guest. His name is Calvin Reynoso. 23 years of friendship. Me and this man has been through the fire. Been through it. I can't wait for you guys to hear his story, how he transitioned from Calvin Reynoso, Killa Cal, to Conscious Cal. Let's welcome your boy, Calvin Reynoso, Killa Cal, Conscious Cal now to the stage. Let's go. What's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's good, homie?
What's going down, man?
Appreciate you.
Good to see you.
Yes, I love it, my brother.
sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for
man.
coming on. Yes,
Humble.
man.
Thank you, man.
Let's sit down. Let's have a conversation.
Let's
man.
get it, brother.
What's going on, man? How's everything?
Yo,
How was your trip here?
dude, the flight, everything was seamless, man.
Good.
I think it's like when you really align with Source,
Yeah.
Divine,
Uh-huh.
it's like things happen for you.
Yes.
You're like in like a constant flow state because you're centered and aligned, and
I love that.
that's where I'm at now. That's why.
And that's why I brought you on here. To let's talk about your journey getting here and healing, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody talks about healing, but are you doing the work? And I wanted to bring you on here on my last episode. It's the Combat Veteran Edition because we're going to talk a lot of combat things we've done mentally, physically, and spiritually to get to where we at. You know what I'm saying? So first of all, look into this camera and tell the camera where you from, how to find you on social media, and let them know a little bit about you.
Yeah, so how you doing? First of all, I just want to thank JR for the privilege to be here. It's been honored and humbled. I'm originally born in the Heights in New York on 84. And essentially my dad was gangbanging, took us out of there. My biological mom was into drugs. He took us out of there, my brother and I, and we went to Worcester, Mass. And he found God and got involved in the church, met my mom, who raised me since I was like 4. Shout out to Miriam Reynoso.
Shout out.
And I'm just grateful for my family. And then from there we went to Connecticut.
Okay.
And then Connecticut, we went to, we stayed there for the majority of my life. And then I joined the Army at 19, met you, and the rest is history.
Come on, man. Hey, welcome to the Hood Motivator Circle.
Thank you.
You saw my transition to how I got here and everything like that. And, ironically, I arrived at the scene first so I could open the door for us.
I appreciate that.
And the stories that people need to hear right now.
Yes, sir.
And you are definitely one of these guys that, I always use that phrase. I stole it from my father back in 1991 when he used to preach. It was called Shake the Room. And that man had a voice that God gave him.
He does, man. Shout out to the bishop.
Shout out to the bishop.
Yeah, I love
Shout
that
out
guy.
to Bishop McIntyre.
I love that guy.
That's my best friend right now. I used to hate him growing up because he was so hard on me, but now I know why, because he was opening my eyes to things that I didn't see back then. So I wanted to bring you on and just talk about your story, man. Let's talk about, coming from New York as, your parents are from Dominican Republic, going to New York and getting into the Army. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so my dad came over from Mocha, Dominican Republic, I want to say when he was like 12 years old, give or take. And then grew up in New York, and actually the Washington Heights, a lot of Dominicans. Shout out to all the Dominicans out there listening. And it, a lot of scarcity mindset, poverty, drug dealing, gangbanging. So my dad was in it. And, he had my brother and I, my brother Jeffrey Reynoso, he's currently on the other side watching over us.
Peace, Jeff.
Yeah, and we'll get into that later. But basically, he transitioned from the gang life to grabbing us when my mother got into drugs. My biological mom, he took us, and at like age 4, and we were living on welfare, sleeping on the floors. We went to Massachusetts, didn't know anybody. And it was just my brother and my dad. And then he found God and got involved in the church and met my mom, Miriam Reynoso, who kind of just really shaped us. And and from there, my brother had joined the Army. In 2001, he was in boot camp when the trade centers went down. I was a junior in high school, bro, and I remember seeing the trade centers go down, and I just like something in me, just a flame got lit, and I almost get emotional thinking about it because I'm looking at the trade centers go down, and that was my initial calling of like my soul, my warrior spirit. Like I got to do something. So my brother was in boot camp, and then from there, 2002, I graduated. I took the ASVAB 3 times, bro, and I just wanted to be infantry. That's what my brother was, but. It all started with I didn't believe in myself. I wasn't told as a kid you're worthy, you're smart. And that early child development from 0 to 4 is crucial. And that's when my mom was into drugs. That's when, you know, she was getting beat by her drug dealer boyfriend. And just, there was a lot of trauma that I had unprocessed. So I didn't believe in myself until like recently, to be honest. Even though I was highly, you know, I was high speed in the military. I met you. But yeah, I joined at 19. In Fort Benning, Georgia, the home of the infantry, and in 2003.
And that's why this is a combat edition, because we're going to tell these stories before our guys had passed away, before they were war heroes, before any medal. You know what I'm saying? We were just kids fighting for this war on terrorism. And they didn't understand, and we didn't understand, but they sent a bunch of 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids to take care of other kids to fight their war on terrorism. And we're the product of it. I'm 44, you're 41. We've been friends for 23 years. You're my kid's godfather. But to see your journey, man, from where we came from, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, before I move on, man, let's just touch on Jeff, man. Jeff, shout out to Jeff. You know, rest in peace to Jeff. He was a Ranger. He was infantry. He was one of the sweetest guys I known, and I know he was dealing with a lot of mental health, and a lot of people turned their ear away from it. And I want to touch on that because shout out to Wendy Productions. I came in here and I film my shows. And sometimes people don't understand I'm really messed up. I'm 100% disabled. I'm 100% mentally unable to do a lot of things, but I try to get it right because I showed up here and I did a few podcasts and the devil was in my ear saying, don't go, because I was on medication that had me, it had me just under the weather. And nobody understood. I wear glasses all the time to protect me from a lot of things. But this day, I wore the glasses to really protect me from what I was feeling and understanding. And I came in here and, you know, I got ridiculed, I got ridiculed, I got mocked by people that I thought believed in me, because every day you think I'm supposed to show up 100%. And I'm glad I showed up, because I showed the world that you can work through that. And I have saw you work through your differences and your situations where you're the first dude I see. We go back to combat, and then you're a stud.
Thank you.
And then you decided to get out because your mental health. And not on top of that, I saw the other homies that were combat ridicule you. And I had to take up for you. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I graduated boot camp September 5th, 2003. And, you know, infantry, I went to Fort Riley, Kansas, Big Red 1.
Big Red 1.
Yeah, you were Big Red 1 in Germany. And, yo, like, literally 2 weeks later after boot camp, I'm on my way to Ramadi, Iraq, for 3 months of training. So long story short, like that deployment, we were attached to 134 Armor Division. We were in Habaniya, right outside of Ramadi. And within the first like month, you know, my platoon sergeant First Class Mosner got his face blown off with an improvised explosive device.
Come on.
My team leader, Sergeant Thaddeus Rule, got half his face blown off. So I was at dismount, and they needed a brand new Joe, a private, to step up, and they traded me literally on an Iraqi Air Force base, Saddam Air Force Base, for 30 minutes on a Bradley, a fighting vehicle, a tank, essentially.
Yeah, explain that to the people who don't know. I know because I'm combat, but explain what a Bradley is.
Yo, so Bradley's just it's an infantry men carrier. It's a tank. It's a tracked vehicle. It has a 25mm cannon. It basically has a turret that rotates. There's a little screen that you can see your targets, and it carries troops to different locations, and it's a beast. Man, it takes a beating. So they trained me for 30 minutes, and they're like, oh, he's combat ready.
Yeah, he's combat ready.
And they had me rolling out the wire. I hit my first IED, and it like knocked me unconscious. My CVC, my helmet got blown off. Like, it was just wild, man. And I literally saw my whole life flash before me. You know, we hit an anti-tank mine later on in the deployment, knocked me unconscious. Like, I remember at 19 thinking like, yo, I just died. And I didn't get to have a kid. I didn't get to have a family, get married. And those are like, I can't disclose all the stuff that we did, but you know how it is. But I just think that, you know, I came back and I suffered, bro. And I didn't speak on it. I didn't know how to speak. Because, you know, the culture in the military is like, you suck it up and you drive on, you know? And it's just like, men weren't talking about feelings.
Exactly. And you were the very first person that raised your hand. It said, something is wrong with me. And our culture, we stepped on you.
We did,
And I saw it happen with my own eyes, not because I heard of it. I saw it in the military how if you were bruised mentally or physically, they're going to send you to S3 or they're going to put you on the outskirts. They're not going to talk to you no more. They're going to isolate you. And that's going to do more for your mental worse than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And I saw that with you. And I wrapped my arms around you and just told you, you know what? I love you and I care for you.
You said
I didn't even know what was going on because I know that we all top notch.
Well, top
we
tier.
were top And what's crazy is when people talk to us about mental health and PTSD, it's more than one scenario that's in our head. It's not just one.
No.
Can you talk about your war experiences? Not going too in depth, but just talk about the things you've been through.
Yeah,
in both deployments.
Yeah, both deployments. I mean, put it this way: 19 years old, grew up majority of my life in Connecticut. I mean, you grew up in Long Beach, gangbanging. Like I wasn't in the streets like that. Like I grew up in a rural town, you know, predominantly white. I was one of the only minorities. And that's why I used to get made fun of. They'd be like, yo, why do you talk the way you talk? Like, when I got to the military, the homies would be like, yo, you're the whitest dude I know. Just because I talk proper. But we went to combat, and first deployment was wild. You know, a lot of rocket-propelled grenades, IEDs, like taking out squads of 8, you know, like just limbs hanging off walls and just banging, bro. Right. Like you say, rappers, they talk it, but we lived it.
Right.
And you fast forward to the second deployment, the belly of the beast,
15 months.
Mosul, Iraq.
Come on, man. The dark side.
The dark side, bro.
The dark side.
And that's where I really embodied, I had to create an alter ego just like you did.
Yeah.
Where I just embodied Killa Cal.
Let's talk about Killa Cal.
And Killa Cal was dark, man. He was violent, but he was my protector, man.
Right.
And I used to have a lot of shame about that because I was a monster, bro. Right. And people don't know this, but prior to my second deployment, I got my sergeant in 2 years and 3 months. Like, I was high speed, but I still didn't believe in myself. I had a first sergeant who believed in me, First Sergeant Johnson. He sent me to the E5 board before I was even promotable, sent me to Warrior Leaders course.
WLC.
You know, I was one of the first classes to go to WLC. Yeah. And I got my 5 in 2 years, 3 months, fast tracking. So I re-enlisted, and I met you in Fort Bliss, Texas. We connected instantly. And, bro, we were supposed to be non-deployable. And then they're like, yo, you're going to Mosul. Let's train. And we go to NTC.
Right.
And, I was battling the worst depression of my life, one of the worst. I remember just sitting in El Paso, Texas, man. I had my rucksack packed. I stayed up all night. I had no money in my bank account. My parents, shout out to my dad, Felix Reynoso and Miriam Reynoso, they sent me $40 so I could go to Chili's and buy me an NY strip. I ate that, and I was so depressed, I wanted to kill myself. From the first deployment, I hear a knock on the door. It's my buddy, Sergeant Toon.
Shout out to Toon.
Yeah, shout out to Toon. He was a beast. That was like his 5th deployment. He was from 10th Mountain.
Yeah.
He knocked on the door, and he said, yo, Killa Cal, you ready? And I was depressed, JR. And I just snapped out of it. The Killa Cal ego came in, alter ego. And I went up to the hangar. We did a little ceremony. And I remember I had all brand new. I was 21 years old, but I was a kid. I had 19-year-old James Brennigan, Luke Turpin, Specialist Nieves. They were all in their early 19s, 20s. And I remember Mr. Brennigan, Jason's father, crying. And I went up to him and I said, how you doing, sir? I'm Sergeant Reynoso. I'm gonna make sure that your son comes back alive. And literally, I just wanted to kill myself prior. Right. But I stuffed it down, and we got to Kuwait. I gave him the pep talk of like, yo, if it comes down to me or you, I'm gonna die for my guys. And I can't explain it. Like, just like on the way here, we talked about I'd take a bullet for you. Right. Because it's in me, bro. I'm a protector. And Mosul, dude, put it this way, JR. I gotta sit up for this one. Yeah. It was so bad that our first month, bro. Man, we got our asses Alpha kicked. Company lost 7 in 1 day. Sergeant First Class Barora, God rest his soul, man. He had IED, bro, and like that destroyed the heart rate. Yeah, bro, destroyed the Humvee. It was to the point where people were dying every day that I volunteered to go home within a month because I didn't think I was gonna make it back. So I went back, said, kiss my mother. Tell her I loved her, and I didn't tell anybody. I told my brother. My brother had just came back from Mosul, Iraq. And he got the Purple Heart. He was with 321 Infantry over there. And I told my brother, I didn't even tell my brother, I said, I love you, I'll see you soon. But as I'm flying, bro, I literally remember making peace with the fact that I'm gonna die. And I just said,
it's okay. That's why.
And I get emotional because
that's why we here, bro.
Bro, I just like told God, I said, like, I'm ready. Like, take me. If you need me, take me. I'm here. And, bro, we went back and, like, bro, it was a crazy deployment, bro.
15 months.
Car bombs. Like, 8 months into it, we're thinking we're almost done, bro.
And they called us back.
And they told us we're doing a total of 15. So, like, I remember that. That broke my heart. Bro, we were, like high-value targets, quick reaction force. Like, who was the infantry? I was the Bravo team leader.
Breach,
man. I saw it off shotgun. Boom, blowing doors. Like, bro, and looking back, I look back and I have like this, I can't believe that was me, bro.
You know what's crazy is? They don't tell these stories of us, the kids, before we became Rangers or SF or Navies, all these, we were the guys before all that did, I literally did 55 months in combat, but that 15-month tour that we all did together really it was the belly of the beast in Missoula, and we thought it was never going to end.
Never.
And I remember coming to see you when I got injured, and they didn't want to send me back to Landstuhl, so they kept me there, healed me, because it was so long of a deployment, put me in the S3.
Yeah, I remember.
When I got out of S3, they put me back on a gunner's hatch to finish the last 4 months.
I remember that, yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
I remember you I think you were caught a ricochet off a round.
Yeah,
and I remember you were healing, you had surgery.
Yeah.
You were hanging out with Kay.
With Kay, yeah. Shout out to Kay, Sergeant Yim.
Sergeant Yim, yes. And I remember just connecting with you and but bro, we were just so mission oriented. All we did was get up, grind, missions, QRF, observation points, high value targets, and work out.
Every day. And work out. And I tell people all the time, I said, you know what saved us, our generation, and all the guys that we hang out with, all 18 guys of us, we stay in shape, and people ask me why.
Yeah.
I said, gym and prayer literally saved our life. We didn't understand what our outlet was. Before you was holistic, before you was conscious Cal, we just stuck with gym and prayer.
Yeah,
and then when we got back to El Paso, guess what we did? They couldn't handle us.
No.
We tore the city up.
We tore that first day.
And the only reason why they kept the brigade and the divisions around because we pumped money in the city.
Yeah.
But we was tearing it up on the weekend.
Man, the first night.
Come on, bro.
Come on, man.
Fights.
And you gotta think, to explain to civilians that didn't serve, it's you go to combat, right? And it's adrenaline, you're up, you're down, your buddy gets killed. It's all right, mission moves on. You get shot at, you hit an IED, RPGs. There was an incident where we were on our way to do a OP, and we were doing a recon mission, and they called us because an IED hit one of our Bradley fighting vehicles, the tanks, and it blew the turret upside down like a teacup. So, shout out to, little icon. But so basically this is a turret that spins. It popped it and flipped it upside down. So we drove past it. I have it on footage.
Yeah.
Not the incident, but the aftermath. And we had to pull the outer cordon. And basically that's the outer security for the perimeter.
Yes.
So we can get the recovery vehicle.
Yeah.
And we pull up, we got hit with an RPG, and I have it on film, and I'm telling my gunner, Specialist Chaco, shout out to Jeremy Chaco, and I'm like, yo, get ready, bro, we about to bang, bro, get ready. And it was they called us back. So we had this adrenaline rush, we got contact, they called us back. So 15 months of just up, down, up, down. Mm-hmm. So what do you think is gonna happen? We get a bunch of kids, a bunch of kids that are just beasts, and then they come back, they're in Iraq 2 days prior, and now they're in El Paso, Texas.
Without no weapon.
With no weapon.
Yeah, we carried our weapons.
This is the weapon. My hand.
These are the weapons right here. And anybody who came against us, we destroyed them.
Oh my God.
We still had mission in our head.
Yeah.
We would tear the clubs up, anybody. And it was multiple of us.
Got scars.
Yes, it was crazy because we didn't know how to handle our mental health. We didn't know how to handle our emotional intelligence.
Yes.
We wasn't taught none of that. We was just used how to be soldiers at that early age. And we did it really well.
We did.
We did it really well.
And
you know what was crazy is? I don't think I would take anything away from what happened back then to make us who we are now.
Yeah.
Because we had to go through that. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Yeah, let's talk about just your process of you in that 15-month deployment, not only keeping Cal together, but keeping your soldiers together, and it just waiting for the day they say, hey, it's time for us to go home.
Yeah.
Because we never knew.
Yeah, we never knew, and like I said, I really embodied the Killa Cal in me, kind of like Batman. We talk about the alter ego.
Yeah, the alter ego.
I channeled my darkness.
Wow.
And I was so locked into Killa Cal, I could not turn it off. It was mission after mission, and just I could not turn it off. So it was to the point where I started to just become it 24/7, and that was scary for me because I almost felt like it's a superpower, but I was so young, I had a hard time harnessing it.
You didn't know how to control it. And it was crazy how we learned how to create a layer to protect Calvin, Reynoso, JR, and McIntyre. Mine was tactical JR. And once I got into that suit, I didn't feel no emotion.
Me either.
It was just and some of the missions we can't talk about, we've done because we've done things that it shouldn't be talked about because we had to come home, right? But you put them guys back in regular society. I was a father, and I was struggling raising my kid.
I remember holding him as a baby.
Jaylani was just coming, he was a baby, and then I had Jaden, and I'm trying to be a father, and I'm trying to deal with a relationship after doing all these crazy things I can't talk about in Iraq, and come back and say, I need help. But the only help I would get is, how tough can you get?
Yeah,
more
how hard
tougher,
can you get?
more rank, more and get ready for more missions. More schools, and more, hey, you know what? You guys are fenced in. You're getting ready for another deployment. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand, like, we lost a lot of guys down range at first deployment, but we also lost a lot of guys mentally. A lot of our guys took their life, suicide. A lot of their guys, they got left over there mentally and never came back.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. So, you know, prime example, like, I came back and, you know, I literally remember going to my squad leader, Sergeant TK. Shout out to Sergeant TK, Ranger, Sapper, High Speed 82nd Airborne. I talked to him and I said, broke down crying. I said, I can't do this anymore. I talked to you. I can't do this anymore. Like, mentally, all I was thinking about is killing myself every day. Like, I was being haunted by Killa Cal. Like, he haunted me. And I was just like, I had a lot of shame about what I did. I didn't do anything unethical, but it was like, I look back and I had a hard time remembering that was me. So, like, I was one of the first to get help, and I'll never forget, I was on the phone at Fort Bliss with my mother for 3 hours outside of the clinic there, the mental health clinic, crying, and she's begging me to go get help. Because literally, JR, like, when I met you at the mall that day, it was God, divine timing, because I was gonna hang myself when I came home.
Let's talk about that.
And I see you in the mall, and you pull up. I remember we were in the Journey store.
Yeah.
And I remember there was some Vans with like some blue bandana stuff. Yeah. And I was like, yo, you rock these? He's like, nah, I'm not active anymore, whatever. And it was like a joke. But I told you, I was like, yo, I'm having a hard time mentally. I don't think I'm gonna make it tonight. And you were like, yo, don't go home. Don't go to the barracks. Come to my house. I pull up. You gave me some food, and you put me up on this hallway right outside your door. You gave me a mattress and a pillow and some food, and you pulled watch on me, 24-hour watch, fire watch on me, because I was not in a good place, and you saved my life. Yeah, man, and I just get a little emotional because I love you, and I know. And I know you, bro. I know you like no one knows
23
you.
years.
23 years, and that's just a testament to who you are as a person. You've always been an authentic, genuine human, but you're also one of the baddest people I know. And if we're going to war, I don't care if it's against the baddest people on the planet. I'm picking you every time. Right. And you saved me, bro. It's like, I need help. And I told Sergeant TK, and he's like, go to the clinic. I'll never forget when the doctor told me, you're non-deployable. Unfit for duty. And I literally, and then that's when I went and told my first sergeant, first class Kelly, he was understanding. But a lot of the homies, you know, they were used to the banging, and that's all we knew. And I don't need to mention names, but like, you know, they treated me different. Yeah. Because they're like, yo, you're Killa Cal. You need help? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, no, I need help.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it. And that crazy transition is really like, it's disturbing in our culture, and black and brown, and it's disturbing in the military. Not only that, being colored soldier in these combat infantry ranks. Yes. It's not a lot of us.
Yo,
not a lot of black folks, not a lot of Spanish folks. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
But when we see each other, we give each other love, because they know that, hey, I got to work 10 times as hard as that person to get to where I'm at, to be who I am.
100%.
You know, I was ashamed of everything I'd done when I got in the military. My mama dying of AIDS, seeing a lot of people in my family gangbang, doing the same thing. I didn't talk about that. So the best thing I could grip on is, hey, I was good at something else, being a soldier. Not only did I do that, I got a Bronze Star of Combat that I couldn't even talk about because I was ashamed of how it went down, the stories. And my father made me embrace it because the unit was hating me because of who I was and what I'd done. And it's kind of like even being in this motivational world and life coaching speech. When you are authentically yourself, the hate will come. And I used to be ashamed of hate. Now I welcome it. The more I need it, it's like NWA. I need the publicity. Go tell somebody about me so when they dig me up, they can see the truth. Yeah. How did that work for you?
Yo, and one thing I just want to touch on is knowing you for 23 years. We had the city on lock, and we moved like quote unquote rappers. Like people thought we were celebrities in El Paso. Like you've always had that aura, that mystique to you, and I'm here to tell you that it's real, though. Like, this is not him portraying something he's not. Like, he really is an embodiment of everything he says he is. But what was the question? I'm sorry. I was just
No, it's okay. I want you to be comfortable and talk. No, we were just going on is everything that we've been through and how we transition, right? So we went through Calvin Reynoso as a kid.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about Killa Cal.
Yeah.
Can we talk about, I know this is a touchy subject, can we talk about the men and women that we lost in combat, including your brother? He didn't get killed.
He died over there, essentially.
Yes, he died over there, but he came back.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about that?
So one of my best friends died, Brandon Sapp. I met him in boot camp. He was from Florida, actually.
Yeah. Shout out to his family.
Yeah, shout out to him and his family. If they're watching, he died. I actually found out he died because he went to Hood.
Yeah.
And I went to Fort Riley, and when I re-enlisted, I found out he died because we kind of lost contact, and I got to the new battalion at Bliss. I walk in, and I see a picture of my buddy Brandon. I'm thinking he got an award, and I read it. It says, Brandon Sapp was killed on such and such date. I want to say it was August 14th of 2003 with an improvised explosive device. Yeah, man, and that one hit me. And also, you know how it is, like, in the military, like if that's one of your buddy's soldiers, that's your guy too.
Right. And
just like Miguel Medina, shout out to Sergeant Medina, we were so close to coming home from our second deployment, man. And Matthew Emerson, he got killed. ID hit his vehicle. The driver swerved and essentially flipped the vehicle, and he was the gunner, and it took his life. And I just remember, I'll never forget, bro. We just came back from a mission. We were Charlie Company. No, we were Bravo Company Bulldogs. They were Delta Demons, and we did like a co-op mission. We came back before them, and I heard on the talk that the Delta had a KIA. Yo, so my heart dropped. I run over, bro. Miguel Medina, he's from Grand Rapids, Michigan. I've never seen that dude cry. He was the dude I met in boot camp.
Shout out to
We went to our first deployment together at Riley, and then we re-enlisted together, got our sergeant together, went to Bliss. He was the homie, and we deployed our second deployment together. We were brothers, man, thick as thieves. And I remember seeing him, and he just came up to me, and he's like, can I swear?
Yeah.
So he started crying, and he said, Matt, he's fucking dead, bro. He's fucking dead. And I've never seen him cry, and all I could do is I held space, I hugged him, and we cried. And I remember I ran to the chow hall because we were going on another mission, and I grabbed him a plate, like some fresh fruit, some eggs, and I just dropped it off to him, and he really remembered that. But it was just like so many people died that I just got numb. It was and then to have to go to those ceremonies,
right.
And the homie Curtis, you know what I mean? My buddy Brant, all these ceremonies were tough, bro. Because now you got to go pay homage, and I get it, but then you got to just lock in and go on another mission. You can't grieve.
People don't understand that, bro. And I will say this, and not get emotional because I don't. It takes a lot of violence for me to be us to be this humble.
Yes.
What we've been through, we really spent them corners out there in Iraq and Afghanistan. We really kicked up some dust. And sometimes when I'm out here in the civilian world and I see people, the energy change, for an inkling of a second, Tactical JR picks it back up. And I just pray for them because it's like you really ain't saw or understood who I am or what I can do to you, because I have so much darkness still that I'm trying to work, and we're doing the healing. And we continue doing the healing, because when you mention all that, I just think about Curtis last 2 weeks of we leaving, and he's having a child, and they get into a discrepancy. His lieutenant with the Sergeant Major of the FOB kicked him off the FOB. They had to move back to Anaconda, and going down that road, they hit an IED 2 weeks before we leave, and he died. Pointless. Some of our decisions that we make in society, in this world, in this realm, it could cost these kids and our family members and people that we touch their lives mentally, spiritually, and physically. So that's why I'm very cognizant of how I talk and who I direct it towards, because we speak in life. All I want to do is speak life and pour positive into the people, because I saw nothing but turmoil growing up in California. Nothing but turmoil. We were the kids. We were the combat kids. I don't know Garrison. We don't know what it looks like to sit back and do Garrison work.
No, I don't, man. And honestly, I remember coming back as a PFC and having a combat infantry badge, and I felt like no one could tell me nothing.
Nothing.
And it's bro, honestly, I was a better combat soldier than I was a Garrison soldier.
Way better.
Because I learned literally everything on the fly. They trained me on a Bradley for 30 minutes, all weapon systems I learned in combat. I didn't go to the range and get all the target practice that I should have got.
Able 12s and all that.
No, I didn't do all that. Like,
but our PCCs and PCIs was on point.
Oh,
I mean, let me break that down. Our pre-combat checks and pre-combat inspections was on point, and guarantee you that taught us how to live our life, how we do it now.
Yes.
What are we doing now?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And the mental work. So, I want to talk about our mental health now. Now we transitioning, and we did a lot of things. We brought a lot of scary things back to our family and to ourselves. And I'm gonna hit on your brother first. The happiest day of your life. I get emotional. You were getting married, and your brother showed up for you, but he didn't know how to.
The best he could.
And the best he could, in the spirit of me and who I am, wrapped my arms around him, and that night I embodied his spirit so it could live on, because I knew he was transitioning. So let's talk about that. And the transition mean that we was gonna get that call one day that he's not gonna be here. So, and we was together, ironically, when we got that call. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, man, let's talk. My brother battled severe PTSD, depression, multiple hospital stays, multiple programs. And, it led from, he had a shoulder surgery, and then the VA just kept giving him pills and pills and pills. And next thing he was addicted. And he was just trying to be a father, take care of his family. And then that spiraled from addiction to alcohol to Robitussin. And I'll just never forget, at my wedding, I was previously married, and that's, neither here nor there. But at the wedding, he showed up, and he was not himself and not in a good state. And I just remember being so mad at him. I wanted to choke him, because like, yo, how could you do this on my day? I'm asking for one day, homie, one day. And he was,
It's okay. That's all we hear, man.
I just have so much empathy and compassion for him, and that's something that I've really learned through my wife. Shout out Monica Reynoso. She's my anchor, the love of my life. Like, oh my God, I can't think about her not cry. Like, she's taught me empathy, and she's really helped me on my healing with my brother.
Wow.
Because I was in a relationship, in a marriage where I couldn't heal.
Man.
It wasn't safe. And my wife holds space for me now, and I'm so grateful. And we processed a lot together. And my brother, what he was going through, like, I asked him one day, man, I was at my parents', and I went in his car, bro, and I opened the trunk, bro. And there, and there was like 40 bottles of Robitussin, bro, like empty. And he was just drinking so much, and I got so pissed. And I went inside, and I see him. I'm like, Jeff, what are you doing, bro? You have a son, like, you got a family, you're loved. And I was like, why do you do it, bro? Why? And he just said, to numb the pain, bro, to numb the pain. And he was dealing with child trauma. Our early 0 to 5 was not healthy, and the combat stuff, bro, really, really destroyed him.
Not for nothing, Jeff was one of, I ran across some good soldiers. He was superb.
He was.
He that's all all of us, that's all we wanted to do, was be better.
Be great.
Be better combat soldiers.
Yeah, that's it.
And the world, what's crazy is the world needed the 80s babies for us to pick that mantle. We didn't know why we were called, but many are called, and few are chosen. And Jeff, I remember vividly a certain kind of energy passing through my body when I touched him at the wedding.
Yeah.
And he had that. He was strong.
He was strong, bro. He was a dog.
But passing me the mantle and said, hey, can you help me?
Yeah,
Through his eyes, and I said, I got it. Whatever strength I got, let me help you. I'm gonna be your brother for today.
Yeah. And you've been my brother for 20-something years, and now, like, catching the wisdom off that, obviously, the more conscious I become, the higher my level of emotional intelligence. I realized that my brother, he sacrificed for us. Like, he sparked his passing. He died. Oh, man, bro. He died 2019. So we were in Connecticut. He was, JR was at the EBV veteran program for entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And I pulled up. I was battling depression. I was in a horrible marriage. And I pull up, and we were driving through the city, and a car pulled up and pop, shot at us.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, like, distance, direction, description, 3Ds, and like, and all of a sudden, I thought we were in Iraq. But what it was the young kids with paintball guns. And I'm like, yo, had we been packing,
they'd have got killed.
they would have got clapped.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, that was the night.
Hartford,
Connecticut. that was the night that I remember driving back after seeing you, and I was suffering, bro, and I was listening to this podcast, and I was about to turn on this road, and I decided to go straight. And I was like, let me listen to this. All of a sudden, I told my dad 5 years prior, I'm waiting for the call to say, yo, your brother's dead. And I literally pull up. I'm about to make this turn after I passed that road that I was going to go down. And all I just remember my brother screaming, my dad screaming, saying, your brother. And I just said, no. And I sat in my car for 3 hours, bro, crying. I called you and you were like, one thing about you, you're effective. You get things done. You move at JR pace. No one can compete with that, and you're not competing with anyone. But you were like, let's do this, and like my brain was like, I couldn't process. So essentially, he went septic. He went to the hospital, checked himself in. He called my dad and said, hey, told my son I love him. I'm gonna be okay. And we pull up, and he essentially went into a coma. His body shot down, and I just remember calling you and. You just like, whatever you need, I got you. And I remember going to the hospital and like the hard thing that I had to deal with, it's a hero's journey, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. My brother, I had to go there, and as he's in the intensive care unit about to die, I remember I had my combat hat on. I had, I used to run a company called Boots on the Ground. I had my Boots on the Ground shirt on, and my parents, my dad, I had my 2 half-sisters, shout out to T and Jazz, and shout out to my sister Hannah. But I couldn't think, so they couldn't go. My other 2 sisters would have gone, but I didn't have that mental capacity to make that call because they were from my other side, from my mom's side. And I remember, bro, my dad couldn't go, my mom couldn't go, my sister couldn't go. Like, no one was strong enough, man. And I was like, I just kept saying, when they called me, said, your brother has X amount of hours to live, I just remember jumping in my car, man, and like, crying the whole way up and just praying to God that he waited for me, man. Because I was like, I just kept saying, I just don't want him to die alone, bro. And we came into this world together, man. And I remember I get to the hospital bed. I walk down this corridor, bro. I'm like the combat, like just boom, 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 walk. I hook a left, pie the corner. I go in. I see my brother laying there. His eyes are popping out. He's breathing on a breathing machine. I take my hat, I put it on top of his chest, man. I held his hand, and I just said, Jeff, man, you don't have to suffer anymore, bro. You can go, you can be at peace. And I told God, I said, God, like, take me. Like, yo, take me, not him. And he passed, bro, and like I held his hand as he took his last breath, man. And it was like on some combat shit, bro, where like I couldn't even grieve, dude. I didn't even cry, bro. I didn't even shed a tear. The doctor comes in, checks his heartbeat, and says, Calvin, your brother Jeff is deceased. And I said, okay. And I got up and I walked out. Like, I couldn't even grieve, bro. And then I'm in a relationship where it wasn't safe. And she hated my brother because my brother was an addict. And, she had her own trauma. And, like, I literally couldn't grieve, bro. And, like, I held a lot of pain for that, man, because I did it alone, bro. And I know, like, God was with me, but that was hard, bro. I carried that. And I just recently now just was able to process that with my father and having the compassion and empathy for him for losing a son. And I can't imagine, like, going through that and, like, God forbid something happens to my son, but I would do everything in my power to be there for him. But he just couldn't do it, and nothing against him. Right. He did the best that he could with what he had, and I love him to death. But it was hard, bro.
That's because we never understood, and that's how we about to transition to Conscious Cal. That's why, Chad, I want you guys just to listen to these messages. It's more than just how we look and what we say. We've been through so much as 40-year-old men, and processing that trauma from our childhood, being a product of our environment, then leaving one war, going into the next war, and then going into another war mentally. And we lost a lot of guys downrange physically, but we lost way more mentally. And Jeff was one of the ones that, it shook us up a lot because he didn't know how to express it. He didn't. And our culture, we don't know how.
And how can we Hispanic,
right,
Black,
right?
Like, they don't talk. Men don't talk in feelings.
Right. And how can we now? But now, you are the tip of the spear because we're going to talk about the work we've been doing for you to transition from Killa Cal and have that one in your back pocket to be conscious, Cal, because after that, we went through a series of mental health things. I went to go get help, 77 days of patience. I did ayahuasca. I did a bunch of things. And people don't understand. They don't know it. But what's going to happen is I'm going to allow you to talk about all experience. But before you do that, let's read what you told me you was going to read when we got here.
Which one, the prayer or the soul contract?
Let's do the prayer real quick, and let's do the soul contract.
Yeah, real quick. So everything I do is intentional. Yes. So I wrote a prayer just to kind of seal the room, seal the energy.
Yes.
So I'm going to speak life. Today, as we sit here, we are finally learning to heal and live. Source, walk with us right now. Sit in this room with me and my brother JR. Let our presence be calm. Let our hearts stay open. Let our words carry truth, love, and empathy. We have lived combat. We have lived loss. We have lived versions of ourselves that had to survive. Today, we speak from the versions that are learning how to live with intention instead of pain. Keep us steady. Keep us grounded in purpose. Let this conversation reach every soul that needs it. Let it remind people of who they were before the world hardened them. Use us as humble servants. Use us as humble servants. Let this not be about what we can gain, but what can we give back? How can we inspire change? Allow us to give hope, give clarity, give peace, give strength to anyone listening who's fighting a silent battle. Let our stories be the medicine. Let our energy be the healing. Let our truth be a mirror for someone to remember their own power. Guide us, guide our breath, guide our purpose as we elevate the culture with honesty and with our hearts. We are ready, we are aligned, we are here to serve.
Thank you so much. I needed that. And that's, you see the transition from, I wanted to walk our audience on Calvin Reynoso to Killa Cal to the beginning of Conscious Cal. And while we was driving here, you know, your wife, shout out to Monica Reynoso. Man, I love you guys so much because I have a good group of guys we send a chat in the morning, 18 of us. Good morning. We tap in with each other. But your wife is one of them people that keeps us all aligned. She's also doing the work. But at the end of the day, let's talk about the work you've been doing, who you are now, and what you're doing in school.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, I went through in a spiritual realm, because I wouldn't say I'm religious, I'm spiritual. And when I think, for me personally, I think of religion as like a fishbowl in the ocean, and spirituality is the entire ocean. And so I'm connected to Source. Yeah. Some people call it God, I call it Source, whatever. Yeah. So basically, long story short, you know, my wife and I, we've been together 5 years, 1 year married. And she really just held space for me. She's an LCSW, I'm a correctional officer. 15 years. She's a licensed clinical social worker at my jail. She's working on her doctorate right now, currently.
Shout out to her.
From USC online. So basically, like, we really started this healing journey. I was already on this path, but I basically, like, Source aligned me with her because she was gonna activate me.
Yes.
And I went through the dark night of the soul, bro. I went through 3 years, 2.5 years of depression. It was to the point where, like, I had left work for a year because I wanted to pursue a degree in social work, and I got tired of, after my brother died, I just was like, I'm just gonna do something different. And I did a whole bunch of, like, college. I banged out 60 credits in a year, and then I started to get really depressed because it's one thing to fight combat, right? You're fighting with the flesh, but when you start talking to your shadows and your demons, and when you're sitting in that cold, dark corner there and you're talking to yourself, that's the real war, that's the internal war.
They don't know.
And that's what, I was so used to structure that I got out of the military, and then I joined the corrections for 15 years, and then I get out, and now I'm like, wait a minute, I have all this time, so all this darkness came up, and literally my wife kept me alive for 3 years, bro, 2.5 years. Like, literally, I was calling her every day at work. I remember I went downstairs, bro, and I took one of the dog leashes. Shout out to my pugs, man. Quimby, Coco, rest in peace.
Shout out
and,
to them.
you know, Ziggy for Prez. I love him, man. But I went downstairs, grabbed the dog collar, and I tied it around my neck, and I was gonna hang myself. And I thought about, like, my son and my wife, and I stopped. And I called my wife, and she was dealing with some jerk-off supervisor that was writing her up for some BS, and she's currently dealing with some legal stuff with that. But things are coming back around. But she came back, and I just remember I broke down and I cried, and she kept me alive, and to the point where, like, it got real dark, man. I went back to work corrections, and I thought that would solve it, but I got worse. Right. So I ended up having to call you, and then I called my best friend, civilian best friend, Justin Oles, who's the deputy warden at Corrigan. Shout out to Justin Knowles.
Shout out to
And him and my wife coordinated. They brought me to a hospital. And real quick, I want to dive back to when my brother died. I had just got out of the mental hospital. I was there at the McLean Hospital. And
inpatient.
Yeah, inpatient.
Like me.
Yeah, so basically, fast forward to I go to Butler Hospital and I get on ketamine treatment. And I can't say my psychologist's name, but you know, she's a captain in the due to confidentiality, she's a captain. But so we got into ketamine treatments and then cognitive behavioral therapy to kind of switch your mindset and your thinking process. And then from that, my wife and I got into plant-based medicine. We did MDMA therapy. I did, but it didn't work because I was on all these type of SSRIs that dimmed me. So I got off that, and then the guy that served me, the therapist, he recommended that I do Bufo, which is the God molecule. It's a toad off the back.
Yes, I did that.
Yeah, it's in and shout out to JP Shipley. There's a Netflix documentary that's talking about 5-MeO Bufo and how it's helping veterans, and it's crazy. So I did Bufo like 5 times, and my wife did it. And I remember you go into this room, everything's spiritual. There's a practitioner, it's guided. It's not like you don't do this for fun.
No, heck no.
This is to do work.
I did it in Costa Rica.
Yeah, and bro, like I took a hit. Next, you know, my hands dissolved, and my ego was trying to hold on. And one thing that I'm learning is like, ego's good. It's not a bad thing, but it's not about killing the ego, right? It's about creating a relationship with the ego where the ego becomes a servant to the soul.
Exactly.
And that's the work that I'm doing now. It's like, I have this mantra, I say soul leads, ego follows. So like, I got into Bufo and then I did ayahuasca. My wife put me onto that. She did a journey, and then we went together.
Yes.
And I didn't really feel anything. And I always said I wouldn't go back until it started calling me. Fast forward, I get into conscious-based education. I come home one day and I told my wife, I wish there was a college on spirituality. She's like, well, actually, Google, there's Maharishi University, MIU, it's online, but it's in Iowa, the campus. And I was like, oh my God. So I signed up, and my major is consciousness and human potential.
Say that again?
So my major is consciousness and human potential. So I'm learning a lot of Ayurvedic, holistic healing. I'm big on transcendental meditation.
Talk it.
Bro, I meditate twice a day. Transcendental meditation.
Cold plunges.
Cold plunges, face plunges. I'm hugging trees because everything is energy.
Yes.
A lot of grounding. So I'm walking barefoot, pulling energy off the earth. And you sync with the circadian rhythm, which is like the cycle of the sun and the moon. And so I'm big on like the ayahuasca opened me up, man. And it's about like the world's gonna tell you, yo, JR, you need to go find yourself. Yo, Cal, you need to find yourself. But it's not about finding yourself, bro. It's about remembering who you were before the world got to you. And that's why plant-based medicine, for me personally, my own experience, opened me up to remember who I am.
Right.
And it's a process, bro.
You gotta do the work though. You did the work. We did the work.
Doing the work.
And we're still doing the work. And that's why you Conscious Cal, and that's why your platform is holistic. And that's why you talk about it, because I say it again, you know how much violence it took for us to get to where we're at now. And I tell people all the time, I had someone tell me that, hey, we don't want to know, we don't want to hear your survival story no more. But hold on, all of us came from some type of survival source. So if you embrace your survivor story and you get in front of your ugly, like I always say, and on top of that, stop hashtagging it. Now let's get to work. So right now we're hashtagging mental health, and we're doing all because it looks good. But are you doing the work? Are you hugging on trees? Are you doing cold plunges? Are you doing ayahuasca? Are you doing Reiki? I did 77 days in inpatient. I don't talk about it because guess what? The cool people don't like it. And it's okay because now I'm embracing it and now I'm telling everybody. And that's why we are best friends, because we have a different type of relationship because we came from nothing. We didn't know none of it.
Nothing, man.
We learned it. And we allowed to be, just like when we was talking to AD, we are all bright lights. We a chandelier. You a chandelier, bro.
Thank you. Like us.
And I love you and I care for you. And that's why I brought you on my platform, you know what I'm saying, to let you know, hey, now it's time. I remember I was telling you back in the day, I was like, Cal, I said, you gotta open up for me.
We were
was like, no way, no way. I was like, you about to open up for me?
I was battling depression. I wanted to kill myself every day. And JR was telling me, oh, well, you about to open up for me? And I'm like, bro, I'm not him. He's like, you're him.
You him.
I'm like, I'm not him.
Yeah, you him.
Depressed. And you saw the vision long before I did. And now I'm like, yo, I'm that new guy, man. I'm that new inspiration.
Yes.
I'm the guy that will come to your house, that will come and tell you that you can make it,
Yes.
bro. Look at me. Look what I did.
Yes.
And it's not even me, bro. It's like source energy,
Right.
bro. When you align with the divine and you're centered, like Nipsey said, 10 toes down, like things just start to flow to you because your intentions are pure.
Right.
And that's why, like, for somebody to say to you, I don't know who said it, but about you, like, oh, people are tired of survival. What do you mean, bro?
Yeah.
People learn more through adversity, and strength is the product of struggle.
Right.
Everybody's fighting a battle.
Right.
Everybody's fighting
Everybody,
a battle.
right.
Wendy could be sitting here fighting a battle and we don't nothing about.
Right.
And that's why, shout out to Wendy, this is his studio, he's giving us his platform and really well at what he's doing. He's got big things coming, I appreciate him. But like, he could be fighting something we don't know about.
We don't know, yeah.
And that's why it's important to share this message, bro.
As men.
As men.
As men, because right now we war and battle against each other. And I tell people right now all the time, and that's me looking into this camera, when you start to do the work, you will lose family and friends that don't understand, because that new version of you can't come in contact with them no more, because you might damage them, taking them up to another level because they can't breathe, because they don't have their face mask right. So don't be ashamed to lose family and friends and people that you thought that you could take that journey. When you are healing, I'm gonna say this again, when you are healing, be prepared to lose some people that you thought that could go to that journey. God already knows. And that's why we're doing the work and continue to do the work. And I thank you. And that's why we align so well, because at every chapter of our life, we had done the work to get there. And guess who did the recontinence for that level? Me. Cal, safe up here. Come up here. Boom. Next level. Boom. I remember when I was going through my dark times when I lost my company. You and your wife got on a plane with me. We're not gonna even talk about that. We was gonna go do some damage to the people that scammed me.
I was on some Killa Cal.
We was on some tactical JR stuff. But y'all saved me. You came with me and said, hey, it's gonna be okay. And we cried together.
Yeah, we did.
And now look at where we at. The people that don't know me, they might get intimidated of my aura, my energy, because you don't know how hard I worked to get here. And my dad told me the other day, Jared, embrace your main character, Cal. Embrace it. You are him.
Yeah, I wake up every day, man, and I got this little note from you of like just speaking life into yourself and like writing things. So on my mirror at home, I have, you know, I'm that new guy. I'm that new vibration. And I say that every day after my cold plunges. And I have my son. Shout out to my son, Kingston.
Shout out to Kingston.
Maddox, Reynoso. He's my anchor, and I know Source gave me a son because he would save my life, and he gave me my wife because she's my activator, my anchor. But like, we're just speaking things into existence. Like, everything that we do is vibrational.
Right.
I even, to the point where now I speak intention into my water.
I saw it.
Because, bro, I say, I take this thing. Can I open this?
No, let me, first of all, this is my my sponsor. Shout out to Motiv8tor. Try it out. Let me know how you like it. And then speak some life into it.
So this is what I do for my water every day. And I just say, Source, thank you for just cleansing my body. Thank you for nourishing me. Thank you, water. Thank you for blessing me. And this is amazing, by the way.
Hey, shout out to Motiv8tor, my sponsor.
That's really good. I'm not even fronting.
Definitely.
So basically, everything has energy, bro. So they did a study where they talked negative to water and they froze it. And it was all jacked up shapes and all dark. And then they spoke love and light and positivity. And it was crazy, sacred geometry. Everything is energy, bro.
Can you do me a favor before we leave, bro? I want the world to hear this. We was driving here and you was reading a friendship contract.
Oh yeah.
Can you read that? We got a couple of minutes left.
I got
that real quick.
I got you.
End.
Yeah. So basically, soul contract. So I'm a spiritual realm. I'm a firm believer that
little tidbits.
I'm a firm believer that my wife sent it to us. Actually, shout out to my wife, Monica.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Soul contracts through ChatGPT, like. They basically, we all choose the life and the hardships to catch wisdom and evolve as humans. So we're living in the matrix.
Right.
And she sends us our soul contract, mine and JR. And
let's read a little bit of it.
And just real quick, from the perspective, Calvin and JR didn't meet by chance. Their connection is part of a long-standing agreement that spans lifetimes. Not just this one. What they are here for is a brotherhood contract, the kind that shows up when two souls choose to walk through both growth and adversity side by side. Here's number one. They are both brothers in multiple past lives. Their bond didn't start here. They've incarnated together, blood brothers, fellow warriors, men from the same tribe, friends who became family, partners in surviving during difficult eras. This lifetime simply brought them back together in new roles, but with the same loyalty. And number two is they're meant to protect and support each other's evolution. So I'm protective over you. I'm on the way here. And I told and I said, I would die for you, bro. Like, I literally would take a bullet for you. And
enough said.
Yeah, enough said, bro. And it said the contract is rooted in loyalty, honesty, grounding, stability, and emotional safety. When one of them is going through something heavy, like when you lost your Rat Pack and then when I was going through my depression, the other shows up naturally, not out of obligation, but because it's wired into their souls.
Right.
They're each other's anchor when things get chaotic. And you know, the last one I'll say is they awaken different strengths in each other. So you bring out the best of me. I always say like you're like you're like the, you know, the Kobe Bryant. You know, I feel like on MJ, I feel like MJ in 95, you know what I mean? So like they awaken different strengths in each other. Calvin brings emotional depth and intuition into the relationship. JR brings steadiness, clarity, and grounding. Together, they create balance. Cal opens the spiritual and emotional lane. JR reinforces the real world stability. Cal pushes evolution. JR ensures safety in evolution. Neither of them are meant to grow alone. Their contract is a mutual activation. So like, and I believe that in the spiritual realm, like we all choose our life and the lessons, and it's on us to take a step back and catch the wisdom.
Yeah, I love that too, because right now on my platform, we're showing that two men can love each other, can care about each other, can enjoy each other's light, push each other forward. Because I've been in situations where I had to dim my light because other people didn't understand, or I would give you certain situations and then you become an opportunist. I think that my last book is called A Good Heart Don't Pay Bills. And I'm learning from having a good heart to understanding that no, saying no is a good thing because I cannot perform for you. And I want you, before I pour into you real quick, because we got a minute left, look into that camera and let them know how they can find you and let them know what you got coming for the next future.
So, you know, Conscious Cal, Conscious and that .ca1 Cal, that's on Instagram, on TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. And honestly, like I'm about to get my degree in consciousness and human potential. I'm about to elevate the culture. You know, I'm getting into the speaking realm. I'm a plant-based medicine advocate. I bet you I want to hold my own plant-based medicine meetups and help heal humanity. But stay tuned, because I'm going right into a master's program and then right into a doctorate. Don't worry, bro. I'm going to get one of your little stripes too.
I love it, bro.
I'm that new guy, man. I'm that new vibration. Let's go.
Listen, man, we couldn't even fit this in 1 hour, but I love you to death. And listen to me. Look at me. Take off my glasses. I'm proud of you. Don't take that for what it's worth. Take it and run with it. I love you. Keep going, man. We've been through so much. They don't understand the missions we ran back to back. They don't know the people we had in our arms that died on our way back from missions, that we had to bury them. They sent us on our 15-month deployment with a body bag with our name on it to say, hey, if something happens to Sergeant McIntyre, Sergeant Reynoso, take their limbs and put it into that bag. That was part of our packing list. So you a special type of person, and I love you, and don't quit. And I needed you to come on this platform so I can wake you up in front of everybody and say, God has a place for you. Don't stop, and I'm here for you. And whenever you get tired, you pass me the baton, I'm gonna run a few laps for you, and I'll come back and give it to you. Hey, I can't wait for you guys to see me on season 4. The Motiv8tor Circle 2026. I appreciate all the hard work, all my fans, everybody, all the doubters. Thank you. Everybody who believed in me, all my family and friends, people who didn't believe, thank you, because it got me to this point to where I'm at now, that I'm signed now by Los Angeles Tribune, and it's game time 2026. I see you soon. Boom. What's going on, everybody? Hey, check it out, man. It's your boy, the Hood Motivator. I want to tell you right now about my book, From the Block to the Board. It's on Amazon right now. You guys are definitely sleeping if you ain't got that book. It's an ebook, so I need you to go on right now, stop what you're doing, and go get my ebook, From the Block to the Board. It's on Amazon right now. Let's talk about it when you get it. DM me if you have any questions. See you later.
God has you in this room for a specific reason and a specific time. And the reason why we're doing that is shifting. And we're catching the vision, right? Are we catching the vision? Now I'm about to activate your gift.